Man, interesting Monday. We had a customer, we did a bunch of work on this vehicle back in January. He had a short in his fuse box, and it melted part of the fuse box down. My technician went out, checked everything over, found a short, effectively fixed the short, then had to replace the fuse box. At the same time, he found that the battery was weak, and he went ahead and changed the customer's battery. Fast forward to now, we get a phone call from the customer last night, and he said he was stranded at a restaurant. Us being us, we want to be, customer focused. We're 100%. Let's just get him taken care of. We tried to get back in touch with him last night. We didn't reach him. We finally got in touch with him this morning. We offered to send out a wrecker, get the vehicle towed over here, figure out what was going on with it. When the tow truck driver got out, he asked if we had a jump box. I said, yeah, of course we have a jump box. And he said, yeah, man, all it needs is a jump. It's either got a dead battery or a starter or something like that. So we hook up the jump box to the vehicle. When he goes to start it, I noticed that it arced pretty significantly. Really looked like it had a very high starter draw, so I was figuring that's where we were going to go. We get it off the truck, and I go to disconnect the jump box, and what I noticed, guys, was this was loose. This is a negative disconnect. Now, he's got this vehicle set up for camping, okay? This is, really an overlanding vehicle, okay? Of course, the custom lights, the light bar. He's got a tent, basically a little hut on top you can open up, canopy. He's really set this vehicle up for overlanding. That's awesome. I love overlanding. I think it's super cool. But when you do that, guys, you got to add a bunch of aftermarket accessories, okay? If you come in here and take a look right down here, you're going to see, man, we've got relays and power and wire and stuff just kind of hooked up everywhere. Same kind of thing here. We needed, obviously, a bunch of different grounds, right? So this customer was stranded yesterday evening, not happy, okay, called us. He was definitely unhappy. We get the vehicle here, we disconnect the jump box, and I notice that this was loose. So I reach over, tighten it down, told my business partner who was in the vehicle to go ahead and start it. No more jump box. Where'd our key go? Oh, hold on, guys. Stand by. Stand by. Lo and behold, the vehicle starts right up. No jump box. No nothing. Not an issue. So, really, guys, it's one of these things that sometimes it's assumed that maybe what is going on with the vehicle is our fault because we were the last people to officially work on the vehicle, when honestly, it really could just be something simple. This is an incredibly poor design. I'm not sure why he has a negative disconnect. I will clear this up with the customer, but this negative disconnect, guys, vibration, it's going to make that thing get loose. And it didn't take much for this not to work. It literally is designed not to work. Let's see if she'll start now. Just out of curiosity. We've got power.
He loosened it up and magically, nothing.
Nothing, okay? Vehicle is dead. So reach over there and tighten that up, Jay.
Tighten. Right on.
There we go. So, yep. So guys, yeah, it's one of those things, simple, something incredibly simple, really kind of had us all in a panic. I really want this customer just to be taken care of. We will be figuring out why we have a negative disconnect. If there is no need for this, this is a complete and total waste. This is going to cause you problems, whether it's on the trail or in the city,
Well, if nothing else, that's the first thing you should check if your car doesn't start.
Right. Immediately, if you hit the key, and notice when this is loose, you hit the key, you have bells and whistles, but immediately all the power is gone. This is a disconnect. Come here and look at this, guys. Let me show you something. You can see how that's marked. Go ahead and can you zoom in on that, Jay? Off and on, guys. Off and on. You go this way, it's disconnected, okay? You close this like this, and it's on. It's a switch, guys. All we're doing is breaking our ground connection, but it's clearly marked. So, yeah, one of those things, we will be eliminating this.
All right, so we're replacing the terminal over here. Just showing the arcing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so this thing was screwed down in here, guys. I like to be able to shut this off, and, you know, basically screws into this, and you can turn it off or turn it on by tightening it or loosening it. Well, obviously it spent a whole lot more time loose than it did tight. You can see all the arcing there, but then take a look at all the arcing here. I mean, this has been pretty radical.
Yeah.
So
we're
going to
replacing
replace
it.
this the right way, guys.
Okay, Aaron, where we at now is, so we are replacing the old terminal.
Yeah, we basically, man, he's got, because of all of the options he's got on this thing, like we were talking about, the overlanding stuff. 1, 2, your 2 main grounds, chassis, and then of course your battery, you know, engine ground. But then 1, 2, 3 separate grounds also attached to the negative battery cable for all of these various relays and other components. So what we got to do now is basically figure out how we can simplify this process, and I really want to take this down to 2 lugs. I want to be able to press, I want to get, you know, our main grounds in one and press it, lock it in place. Then I want to get the other 3, and we'll put those in a secondary and lock them down. Then what we'll be able to do is put the ground terminal on, put our new ground lugs, and then lock everything together. We'll have a good solid connection that he doesn't have to worry about coming loose anymore. Yeah.
So a permanent fix.
A permanent fix, exactly. That'd be the right way to do it.
Yeah, it's the way it should have been done the first time.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, we'll check in a bit.
All right, guys. So we've got the all of our little micro grounds here. We just got these pressed in. Not really a great way to do this because of how he's kind of got everything run. Kind of comes from all directions, so you can see it kind of looks like a spider. But what we've done now is at least put it in a copper port and went ahead and pressed it down and locked everything in place, and then we folded it over on itself to basically double press it. So we're good and solid, okay? We did the same thing to our main engine ground, and in this side we went ahead and included the chassis ground as well. So he's got a lot tied in here without really taking the whole thing apart and running all new wiring. It's very difficult to clean it up the way I would like to. Effectively, we're doing this for him as a courtesy. But so that part is done, and I was just explaining to Jay, we were talking, and I wanted to see if there was going to be a question of parasitic draw. One of the ways you can tell, guys, is all of these things that are hooked in here, okay, power's still there. If you've got an issue where you're going to see a draw, when you bring this over to the negative, guys, when you touch that, if you're getting sparks, that means you actively have something trying to pull power. Guys, one of your accessories, whether it's this light bar or something up there with the camping tent or his auxiliary power, if you touch that to the ground after you've gotten everything put together and you're getting sparks, that's a battery draw, guys, okay? So your main power here going down to the engine, primarily for your starter and alternator, same kind of situation. If you attach this, guys, or you start touching this and you're getting sparks, all right, we've got a problem. There's an internal short someplace. This is a ground, guys. If there's not power going to this rest of this in a short, you shouldn't have any sparks whatsoever. Very, very little, if any, okay? So if this is arcing, then you automatically know you have a problem either with the starter, the alternator, or we've got a power circuit touching the engine block that should not be, okay? These two were good, not a problem. So we're going to be able to put this back together for him and make this vehicle happy. He'll be able to start it, no issues.
And go off-roading.
Go off-roading, that's it.
All right, thanks.